Now, what are the steps to be followed to record business transactions in a journal? The steps are: number one, ascertain the accounts related to a particular transaction, right? For example, the basic example I will give you, purchase of raw materials. Now, this purchase of raw materials have two accounts. If I am not purchasing it on cash, I have purchases account, right? And then I have suppliers account from whatever supplier, from whatever company. For example, it is ABC company from which I'm supplying my raw materials. I'm getting my raw materials. So there will be two accounts. Suppose if I'm paying ABC company in cash for those raw materials, so it will be purchases account and cash account. These are the two accounts that will be affected, right? We will do properly in next slide, but I'm just giving you the example side by side. Find the nature of the related account, right? Whether the, see again, when I'm purchasing, so whether the purchase account is being affected or sales account being affected, which account is being affected, we have to find the nature of that related account. Ascertain the rule of debit and credit applicable to the related account. Then we'll apply the rule of debit and credit. Record the date of the transaction in the date column. Write the name of the account to be debited in the particulars column along with the abbreviation DR and the amount to be debited in the debit amount column. So first we will ascertain the accounts. Then we will find the nature of related accounts. Then we will follow the rule of debit and credit. Then we will write the date in date column, right? The date on which the transaction has been occurred. Then we will write the debit entry. And whenever we are writing the debit entry, in the end we summarize it with capital D and small r. This is the abbreviation we use for the debit. Next, then we will write the credit entry. Write the name of the account to be credited in the next line, starting with 2, and the amount to be credited in the credit amount column. I will show you one example like this. Before I keep on saying and it all creates a confusion, let's see this account. I'm not explaining entry, just see that this is a debit entry. Cash or bank account being debited. Like this, we write the abbreviation. After writing the date in the date column, we write the debit entry with the abbreviation. Then this account also being debited. And then this third entry is the credit entry. We start with writing 2 and the nature of account, the name of the account, and that's it. For the credit entry, we do not use any abbreviation, CR or something, nothing. We just start with 2 and the name of the account, right? So this is how we proceed. Write a brief explanation of the transaction as narration, right? And in the end, we just narrate like this. Being business started with cash and assets. So this is basically the entry where we are introducing capital into the company. And when we introduce capital into the company, which accounts are being affected? If I'm introducing capital in form of cash and assets, maybe I'm bringing some new furniture or some machinery to my company. So two accounts will be affected. Two things are being brought by me. Those are cash, assets. So cash debited, assets. Why they are being debited? We'll do that later, but I'm just explaining you. Cash is being introduced, assets being introduced. So cash debited, assets debited, and capital account will be credited to capital account, right? And there is a brief explanation. Being business started with cash and assets. It is always below the credit entry and it is written in brackets and it starts with the word being. Being business started with cash and assets, right? Here we will have date. In the debit column, we will have the cash and assets amount, and in the credit column, we will write the amount against the capital account. Just a brief explanation. Now, why the cash is being debited, why the capital account is being credited, and why the assets account being debited, we'll do after just learning the rules of debit and credit, right? So that was the narration. The thing we write in bracket below the credit entry is the narration. Draw a line across the entire particulars column to separate one journal entry from the other. Now, this is a basic thing that we have to draw a line here for the next entry, separating one entry with the other. Now, these were the steps to record a journal entry. Now, we should learn the rule before starting or learning the recording of journal entries. First, let us understand what are assets, what are liabilities, and what is equity. We know in balance sheet we record assets and liabilities, right? Assets are on the right hand side, liabilities are on the left hand side. Liabilities are all the payments, and it also includes the all the short-term loans, short-term creditors, long-term loans, long-term creditors, like when we are issuing debentures, right? Those are long-term loans. I'm just giving a brief example, right? And liability side, we also include the equity, the investment in by equity shareholders. Whatever is our equity capital, whatever is our debt, whatever is our short-term credit, right? Maybe short-term loans and payments to be done, that are recorded on liability side. Now, asset side, we have fixed assets like furniture, plant and machinery. Then we have current assets. Then current assets have cash, stock. So whatever is the asset to the company comes on the asset side, that is on right hand side. Now, what does the debit and credit rule says? Debit is red, right? This means whatever is going out. It increases an asset or expense account. Whenever the asset is increasing or the expense is increasing, we will debit it, right? For example, cash is being brought to the company. The entry which we were just seeing, cash is the asset, right? Cash is the asset. It is being debited because it is increasing in the company. So whenever an asset increases or whenever an expense increases, right, that will be debited. Decrease in liability or equity will again lead to a debit. Credit means increasing a liability or equity and decreasing an asset or expense account. Now, I will give a basic example. If I am selling any furniture, right, that is an asset to the company. Furniture is being sold, so asset is being decreased. My furniture is being reduced, right? This means decreasing of an asset. Whenever I'm selling a furniture, whenever I'm selling an asset, it is decrease of an asset, it will be credited, right? Suppose the entry says selling of furniture worth rupees 50,000 at cash. So cash is again an asset. It is coming, so it will be debited. Cash account debited to furniture account, right? Let's do the entries and then we'll get to know. So just remember this basic rule. Debit, what comes in increases an asset or expenses being increased. Decreasing of liability or equity account. Credit means increases a liability or equity account, decreasing of an asset or expense account.